Phase 3, multipolarity. We've often talked about what the multipolar world looks like. And we also have often talked about how we're in that right now. Let me go over it really quickly again for those of you who may have never heard it before, who are new to the channel. A system of multipolarity, in other words, in world governance, increases rivalry in world politics. The reason being that many states of similar strength compete for power and influence. These states are often uncertain of other states' intentions, which increases the probability of military action. Also, the power balance in this type of system is changing constantly as a result of changing alliances. Multipolarity denotes the fundamental power structure in an international system dominated by several large powers and is characterized by the antagonism between these. Okay, so why are we just jumping right off the bat into the multipolar description and so on and so forth? Just today, we have a European Union boss threatening to break up the U.S. in retaliation for Trump Brexit support. Now, just a couple days ago, we had just yesterday, the day of the Brexit, we saw the EU trying to slap a bill of billions of dollars. I can't exactly remember the exact amount, but billions of dollars worth in a bill for an army. We've talked about a European superstate before. They wanted to demolish the EU to bring about a European superstate. In other words, another superpower would be on the world stage. It would not just be Russia, China, the USA. It would be the European superstate, Russia, China, USA, India, Pakistan. You name, there are several large powers right now that are being built. In an extraordinary speech, the EU Commission president said he would push for Ohio and Texas to split from the rest of America if the Republican president does not change his tune and become more supportive of the EU. The remarks are diplomatic dynamite at a time when relations between Washington and Brussels are already strained over Europe's contributions to NATO and the U.S. leaders' open preference for dealing with national governments. They are by far the most outspoken intervention any senior EU figure has made about Mr. Trump, and are likely to dismay some European leaders who were hoping to seek a policy of rapprochement with their most important ally. The U.S. and the EU are heading directly for a trade war because Trump has threatened a 100% tariff. Let me rephrase that. The U.S. and EU are in a trade war after Donald Trump threatens 100% tariffs. There we go. America's trade battle with Brussels is set to continue as Donald Trump considers a hike on the price of Perrier mineral water, Vespa motor scooters, and cheese as he hits back over the EU's long-standing ban on hormone-treated American beef. Campaigners across the continent are now rallying to put pressure on the U.S. and European Union to get back around the negotiating table before Mr. Trump's new trade representative, Robert Lighthizer, makes a decision. Rob Dingman, president of the American Motorcyclist Association, warned to basically jeopardize an entire industry for leverage is inappropriate. They're going to go and destroy this one industry and hope that's enough to alter the trade preferences on the agricultural side. Chris Pay, a lawyer who represents the Cheese Group Confederation, told the Wall Street Journal, it is going to hurt the mom and pop specialty cheese shops. It could potentially double the prices of cheese that they have to get from their supplier. It comes as U.S. beef producers accuse Brussels of backtracking and say they have failed to keep to their end of a deal sealed in 2009. The World Trade Organization in 1998 ruled an EU ban on imports of U.S. beef violated WTO obligations and ordered a blanket ban. Now, of course, beef and cheese, and can this really all derail an entire world governance system? This is the trade war that we've often talked about as well. Now, coming very soon, in addition to this section or this side of the world trade war, we're going to have a trade war with China potentially, Mexico, Canada, and a couple other countries as well, depending on how and what shakes up with this, of course, administration. Just today, actually, we all need to begin asking the question, is Trump backing down, or is the swamp getting to Trump? The administration will now only seek minor adjustments to NAFTA, which is what Trump called the worst trade deal. While the Trump was ablaze on the campaign trail, he stated that NAFTA is a disaster. However, now that the new administration has taken the Oval Office by storm, Trump only seeks to make minor changes to the trade deal. Is Trump cracking? There is pressure from every side and every mainstream news outlet, but until lately, Trump appeared not to be fazed by the left-wing world order. However, we are just over halfway through the first 100 days of the new administration, and it would seem as though the battle has left its scars. The following comes from the Wall Street Journal. According to an administration draft proposal being circulated in Congress by the U.S. Trade Representative's Office, the U.S. would keep some of NAFTA's most controversial provisions, including an arbitration panel that lets investors in the three nations circumvent local courts to resolve civil claims. Critics of these panels say they impinge on national sovereignty. The draft reviewed by the Wall Street Journal talks of seeking to improve procedures to resolve disputes rather than eliminating the panels. The U.S. also wouldn't use the NAFTA negotiations to deal with disputes over foreign currency policies or to hit numerical targets for bilateral trade deficits, as some trade hawks have been urging. Later on, the Wall Street Journal spoke with Jeffrey Shute, I think that's how you pronounce his name, who is a trade scholar at the Peterson Institute for International Economics. Jeffrey said the measure reimposing tariffs, called a snapback in a trade language, was also sought by the Clinton administration 24 years ago when it negotiated side deals to NAFTA. According to the Wall Street Journal, there are several echoes of the TPP, the Trans-Pacific Partnership, throughout the potential renegotiations of NAFTA. Mr. Shute noted that a number of the proposed negotiating objectives echo provisions and the Trans-Pacific Partnership, a 12-nation trade pact among Pacific Rim countries. Mr. Trump campaigned heavily against the TPP. The president pulled the U.S. from the deal on his first working day in office. Among the TPP-style provisions, the U.S. will seek, according to the draft, are protections of digital trade and commerce, tougher intellectual property enforcement, and requirements that state-owned companies operate in a commercial fashion. The Obama administration had hoped to use the TPP to set standards for state-owned firms in the Pacific as a way to influence Chinese behavior. Now, of course, we know how bad the TPP was. But why is it echoing? Why are there mere echoes of the TPP in the new potential renegotiations of NAFTA? That's the real question of it all. And of course, we can see what's really going on with this. Jumping back to the EU, we have the EU basically attacking the U.S., saying that they're going to threaten to break up the U.S. of A. Good luck. I want to thank you all for watching and listening. We're being attacked at every angle. If you can, support this channel and support this cause and support our website. Go to christiantruther.com/info to find out more. Thank you. God bless and carry on.